guys, thank you so much for joining me on my channel today. In this video I'll be doing a very simple yet glamorous makeup look. It's just wing eyeliners and this red lip. I have used some eyeshadow but it's very basic. If you did like it, please keep on watching. So as always, I have primed my eyelids and I'm using NYX's yogurt pencil all over my eyelid just to make sure the eyeshadow stays in place. I'm going to be using Makeup Revolution's Fortune Favours the Brave palette. Now this is not my most favorite palette by Makeup Revolution, but it's a pretty good when it comes to shades and stuff. But I went in with that light color just in my crease, and I'm going to take this frosty color all over the lid. Now it was not showing up very nicely without the base, so I decided to use the base and then apply this eyeshadow all over the lid. Then I'm going to take that frosty white creamish color in the inner corner of the eye. So I just wanted to create a slight gradient, but it was not showing up very clearly, but I had to really reapply that with that smudging brush. Then I'm taking this dark brown color and applying it in the outer V, and just to smoke it out a bit, I'm going to be using a fluffy brush. Now here I'm not just adding any excess product, it's just same brush with that previously light brown color which I had used, and I'm just buffing that into the crease. I'm adding some more of that dark brown. It's a very simple eyeshadow look. I didn't want the shadow to have too much focus because the entire look is based on the red lips that I wanted, so I didn't really focus on the eyeshadows. Then I'm taking this black eyeliner from Sugar Cosmetics. It's a pen liner, and I thought I'd be able to do a wing liner in front of the camera, but I couldn't because I'm more comfortable with applying my eyeliner when I'm standing, and I didn't want it to screw up the wings because it took me nearly almost 20 minutes to get them right. So I just tried my best. I could with one eye, but the other I had to go off camera. And then I'm spritzing my face with this MAC Fix Plus in Coconut, and for my primer I'm going to use this Lakme Absolute. Now I wanted to use a dry primer. This primer is amazing for oily skin. For concealer I'm using a MAC Pro Longwear in NC42, and I'm just applying that under the eyes. I'm applying it with this PAC's Mini Beauty Blender, and I'm not going to be applying it too much, just under the eyes and around the mouth area where I feel I have pigmentation. I don't want to use too much concealer because the foundation is pretty full coverage. The foundation I'm using is Sugar Cosmetics Ace of Face foundation in the shade Chococcino. Now this foundation is extremely thick in texture. It's almost full coverage. It did cover my face pretty nicely, but the mistake that I did was using the Lakme's Absolute primer. Now if you have oily skin, you don't need an oilier primer, but now my skin was dry, so I required something like a oily primer, like you get those hydrating primers these days. I was supposed to use that, but I wasn't sure. I expected the texture to be very creamy, but you can see with their blending brush it took me like ages to blend, but nevertheless this brush actually gives you a flawless finish. The mistake that a lot of people do is dragging the brush across your face. You just have to go in the circular buffing motion rather than dragging the brush. Now on the other side I had to add a little bit of the product and use this Real Techniques buffing brush, and I really felt like the coverage was less. I don't know how and why the buffing brush actually did not give me full coverage rather than using their brush. Their brush gives you a really nice finish. You can see I'm adding some more of the foundation, and this foundation is pretty thick. You don't want to keep applying layers after layers, but I was really happy with the coverage. So I'm aware that this shade is slightly lighter for me. Also when I looked in the tube, it looked really very yellow. Like I like yellow skin tone foundations, but the thing is I am not that yellow also. But I don't know, somehow this foundation was looking tad bit lighter for me. But I can make it work because I think the next shade after this was pretty dark for me. Then I'm taking my damp beauty blender and just pressing it on my face. Now I like to do this step for all my foundation routines. I just touched my face to see if any of the foundation is getting transferred on or if it's sticky, but it's not. It's actually a very good quality foundation, I will give you that. My first impressions, I was really happy. Then I'm taking this NYX's HD concealer and just highlighting the under eye area and the usual area which I like to just highlight. And to blend that, I'm using my regular sized beauty blender. To set that, I'm using NYX's finishing powder in Banana, and I guess you guys, if you follow my videos, you'll know that how I love this product these days. I'm reaching for it like all the time. Like, it really gives you a nice highlighted look. Then I'm using hashtag Nofilter powder just to set my face. I would use this for any foundation that I feel is slightly creamier in texture. But this just really is my favorite setting powder so far. It's in the shade medium olive, and it just looks like my skin. Like, it really warms up my skin. Also, you can see like my skin doesn't look like any longer that it has like a mask on. Like, of course it looks better when I have the contouring and the entire face done, but yeah, this is what the whole base makeup looks like. You know, this is how I would normally do all my foundation routines, except the Huda Beauty one, because I think the foundation was pretty matte after that. And then for my eye kohl, I'm using this Maybelline's Colossal Kajal in Super Black. What I'm going to do is, I'm not just going to be taking the entire black kohl in my entire waterline, lower waterline, but I'm just tight lining, and just towards the outer corners I am just giving it definition. For the inner corners, I'm again using that same frosty white eyeshadow which I used before. So this is just going to give you that more glowing eye makeup look. Like, you know, we don't want it to have a darkness or anything. Like, this really opens up the eyes, I feel. And then I'm adding that some of that dark brown area on the lower lash line. So from Sugar Cosmetics, I'm trying Lash Mob Mascara for the first time, and I am impressed by this mascara. Like, one coat and all over the lashes. Like, I'm not even going back into the wand to pick up more product, and it's like this thick texture which is not runny like the other mascaras which have this clumpiness, and then you have to take another wand and separate, or maybe a makeup remover. It's a whole lot of mess, but this one is just brilliant. Like, I could really comb each and every lash. And for my contour, again I'm using my brand new palette in the Subtle Summit shade Contour de Force. Yeah, the palette's name is Contour de Force and the shade is Subtle Summit. And the contour color, oh my god, you guys, it's just perfect for Indian skin tone, like medium olive skin. This contour shade is like bang on, like super beautiful color. Like, you can see my face looks warmed up in the most nicest way. For the highlight, I'm using that beautiful champagne color highlight, and oh my god, this highlighter is again really blinding. I'm extremely impressed by this palette. I'm using the same thing on my brow bone, and on the other side I sprayed some of my Fix Plus and applied the highlighter on top of it. So what that did is just gave me a more of a natural highlight. But if you want like a blinding highlight, you need to pack on a little bit more on the Fix Plus side. But of course, the Fix Plus, if you want to wear this highlighter like on a normal day, wear it with Fix Plus. Like, it's gonna look really beautiful. Like, but if you want like for photography or something, I will suggest you to use the highlighter directly instead of the Fix Plus. Then I'm adding some more tiny bit on the forehead, not too much, just a bit on the chin. Then I'm using that gorgeous pink color blush, and oh my god, it's so subtle and so perfect, just the right pink that I like. You can see my face looks really nice and glowy, and I don't know, like I can't stop looking at myself. And then I'm adding some more of that highlight, just a tiny bit on the Fix Plus area, because I like my highlighters to be blinding. And I went in with tiny bit of blush. On the lips, I'm going to be using Smudge Me Not liquid lipstick in the shade Trusty Rusty. It's one of their new launches, I think, and it's such a bright orangey corally red color, very in your face, very glamorous, very party kind of color. But if you keep your look overall subtle like that and you wear this shade, it's just going to look bomb.com. So this was my first impression of Sugar's new products, and I'm super impressed. the Smudge Me Not liquid lipsticks again. They are really beautiful. I have used in other formulas, but this is the first time I'm trying their new shade. And yeah, and I'm adding tiny bit of that Maybelline Colossal Kajal in the waterline and fixing my face with Fix Plus, and this is the finished look. I really hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know in the comments down below what you would like to see. Please subscribe to my channel and press that bell icon to be notified every time I post a video. I hope to see you all in my next video, and until then, bye, take care.